How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go to the two trades that I took on SPY. Both were calls, both winners. We'll dive into that in just a second, though. For now, we're looking at SPY on the daily chart the past couple months or so. We had this huge run up. We've had last Thursday and Friday. You see, we had a bit of a pullback on some higher volume. We gapped up today. And had an overall green day. Let's take a look at the hourly time frame. We'll see one thing that I was watching today. So last Friday I noticed that we were forming a bit of a bull flag, or a flag, or like a falling wedge, whatever you want to call it. We had this consolidation playing out, and one thing that I wanted to see is if we could break to the upside and continue this move that we had coming into this position. We didn't get that on Friday's session, but I noticed looking at this morning over the weekends after hours pre-market, we had broken out and then held above this 470.56.6-ish area. We also were holding above Friday's high day as well. So to me, this looked bullish. We were kind of trending in this downward channel, broke out to the upside, broke above this level, and Friday's high, and we're holding that coming into the open. So coming into the day, I was leaning bullish. My next target was going to be this level here at 472.2. We'll take a look at how we traded today. So the first trade that I took was calls once we held this pre-market high. That was another level I was watching, was this pre-market high. We'd been kind of trending up. That was the most recent high after finding support at Friday's high a day, opening pretty strong. Once we opened, we looked pretty good all the way through, breaking above and holding this pre-market high. So I got in calls in here. Target ideally was 472.2. I took one off as we approached on this candle here, so kind of consolidated for a bit longer than I wanted, but I did notice that we were, and I'll take a look at the 2-minute as well. 471 was my stop, so this was about as close to my stop as I could get without stopping out. Luckily I didn't get stopped out. Reason being is that I noticed it was the bottom of this wick here. Once we had broken above the pre-market high, we had wicked all the way down to 471, nice whole number, before we kind of rallied from there. So that was my point. If we broke that was my get out, that was my stop level. I had noticed that we were forming these longer wicks on the 2-minute as well, looking like every time we came down and tested that pre-market high after breaking and closing above it, that we were holding that level fairly well, which is why I entered calls in here. Had a little bit of drawdown here, pretty much immediately reversed, but then we started consolidating. But I figured as long as we had a break to the upside, this was still really solid, that we were having kind of this consolidation right at this pre-market high after looking strong over the weekend and off the open. Once we broke out, I sold a contract on here. Maybe a little early as we did push up an extra, 20 cents or so. But I did sell one contract here, and then I sold one once we broke here. We were forming a little base. I was hoping that we would make new highs. Once we broke that base, I cut my position for a small loss. Had I placed it at break even, I believe this move down probably would have got me. However, that leads me into my second trade of the day. My second trade of the day was calls on this candle here. Reason being, we had this huge drop down, right? Or not huge, but we had this reversal after having an uptrending day. Where do we find ourselves? We find ourselves at the previous high. This is the previous high a day, an area that took a while to break through. We find ourselves right in there, an increasing volume. We hold that level not once, but twice on the 2-minute. That gave me a good signal to enter calls here. One last thing that I was watching as well on the second trade was, if we take a look at the 5-minute chart and we throw up the EMA, we were holding that EMA. And that's one thing that I was noticing the entire run up, and I'll remove some of this, but the entire run up, we were respecting that EMA the whole time. So as we came down and we tested and held this previous high on the 2 minute, and we held the EMA on the 5 minute, that gave me some confidence to enter. I sold once we approached the high a day, so it was just a quick scalp. I only took one position. I took a small position because I did have a winner on the day already. But I think why I took this is that I maybe trimmed my runner a bit early. And if I didn't trim it in here, you know, if I really held it till break even, if that didn't stop me out, this move would have. Like I said, my target was 472.2, which we did reach later in the day, but not off this initial morning move. But I took another call here because it was classic. It was a pullback and an uptrend. It's a good place to enter a trade. So figured I'd try small size calls and cut once we approached the high a day, as I had seen how we reacted previously, rejecting off that area. So overall, pretty solid, pretty happy. Happy I held through here. This move up was pretty nice. At one point, I think my runner was up around 50%, which I should have taken that, you know, in hindsight. But I really thought that we might hit this 472.2. So I was holding for, you know, what would potentially be maybe 100%. It was a 472 contract, so it was out of the money. I was looking for it to become in the money and get up to this level. If I was up around 50% here, yeah, that might have been closer to 100 had we reached that level at that time. So I was trying to hold for my final target. Once I saw us dropping, though, I didn't want to give that up. I had a small size anyways, and I think maybe seeing that I was up 50% and watching that contract drop in value here maybe caused me to stop out a little early. So nonetheless, I did re-enter the same exact trade, same 472 calls, and caught that scalp for about a little over 20% here in just a matter of 2 minutes or so. So not bad day overall. You see we came down and retested that pre-market high again. That level played out really crucially today. Rallied all the way up to the level that I was watching. So catching this trade, these calls off the pre-market hold would have been a really nice trade. From there, we kind of broke up, chopped around a little bit, and then had a little rejection at the end of the day. My next level I was watching was this 473.4. That is a really big level that we have rejected off of a couple times in 2021. You can see 1, 2, 3 weekly candles rejecting. The past week rejecting off that as well. So that's why I have it highlighted in blue, just to remind myself that is a big level for sure, and to pay attention to that. But we didn't ultimately reach that. We'll see if we get there tomorrow or if we have a pullback. But for now, it looks like the uptrend continues. That's all I got for you. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I do trade live every Monday through Friday. That is, I won't be trading this coming Friday, and I won't be trading the following week because it is a short week. It's a holiday week. We have Christmas. I'm also going to be with family, so I'm not going to be trading. But this whole week through Thursday, let's get it. All right, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace.